let's get the translation off, all messages on the chat, and it's time to get cracking straight away. So I have remembered to put my other device on the dashboard. Oh, but before I go anywhere, I'm at the petrol station right now. I've just topped up, and you'll see from the thumbnail how much that costs. Oh my god. And it's laugh or cry, let's face it, it's laugh or cry when you see the prices. And I did just have to do the biggest fill I've ever done, because the fuel prices here are slightly better than at home turf. So yeah, so we'll come out here. I think I'm doing all right. Yeah. Go right here. Yeah, so I topped up at the Sainsbury's. And here we go. Oh, Sue, hi, how are you? I've been wondering where you've been. I hope you are well. I'm not going to worry too much about what roads I'm going on. I've just set the sat nav on the fastest route, which hopefully will get us to major roads fairly quickly. What? Did I miss a route? No, it's reordering for me. How annoying. Okay. Where am I going? Maybe I don't like this route. And it gets me onto the M42 pretty quick. Why do you want me to... Wait, what? No, I want to go on that one. It says 7 minutes slower, but I'm going to do that one. That would be ridiculous. I don't know what it was thinking. Right, let me try and read some chat while after we get off this junction. Oh, I went over that too fast. That was not good. Right. So you're saying, hi Molly. Hope you're well. Yes, I'm well. I hope you are too. Oh, you've been on holiday in Cornwall, of course. I hope you had a fabulous time. Yeah, I forgot about this, Sue. That is my memory for you. But I'm glad you had a fabulous time. Hi, Joshua. Well, I've got to go around this one. They're quite bumpy. I'll send everything in the back going boom, boom, boom. Oh, Rosie's in. Hi, Rosie. And Fluff, of course. Lovely to see you, Fluff. It's Mother's Day in America. That's cool. Did you do anything for Mother's Day? Hi, Ellie. Good to see you. The stream will be quite a while. My sat nav says an hour and 50 minutes. Arriving at almost 10:30. I'm going to be honest, it's probably going to take longer than that. You know me, I don't drive to the limit. I drive to what is reasonable for the van. And also I can't drive to the limits that the sat nav thinks when I'm on slower roads. Well, sometimes. Oh, sorry, I see Rosie and Shadowmaster are saying stuff, and I've just missed it all because it's been so quick in the chat. But hi, Shadowmaster, and Brian as well. As always, I do have to focus on the driving more than the chat. So when I'm on roads, I'm doing turns, I can't really look down. A quick glance is all the thing. Yes, I am eating. Can you guess? I've got, oh, don't pull out, don't pull out. what I'm going to do with them, I grabbed some at the petrol station. I can sense I'm going to need a little bit of a perk me up for the drive home. Correct, Fluff, M&M's. Oh, well, enjoy your bath, Ellie. We'll see you soon. Here we go. On our way to the M42. Happy birthday. Sorry, I can't tell what your name is. Muffin McFluffin. You don't like that? Welcome to the chat. Hello. And Liam's in. Hi, Liam. Good to see him. Yes, hi Vic. Crazy prices, but not the worst ones here, I'm going to be honest. Cheapest place I could find. Because obviously I used the app. And it was a Sainsbury's, so I got my next points on it. But there you go. That is the biggest, most costly, well, it's the most costly fill up that I've ever done. Easily. Because I went from an empty tank pretty much to a full tank, which I've never really done before. But also, the prices are the highest I've ever had to pay, other than maybe on that motorway one, but I only put 20 quid in at that time, if you know what I mean. So, as a fill-up goes in one go, that is by far, shockingly, the biggest amount I've spent in one go on fuel. That is ridiculous. Not looking forward to the week, how come? I'm guessing that's work related, is it? Hey, Survival Empire's in. Hi, Gary. How you doing? Too many gears there. To be fair, we need to be at the speed we're at anyway. Oh. Are we talking like a lot of rush hour driving? That's not good. As you can tell, I like to wait till the evening. I like the roads to be nice and clear. Especially if I'm going to be streaming. If this was busy, I wouldn't have any chance to look down. But there's literally nobody behind me and like this one car passing in front. And like, yeah, there's just nothing much to struggle with, to be fair. Whoa. Too fast in that corner. Is that Moira? A car boot? Whatever, I don't know what that is. M-O-I-R-A. Moira? I'm going to go with Moira. Tulp to the right there. Stopped in there the other day. Nice memories already. Oh, make sure I'm going the right speed. I am indeed. Don't want to get caught on that, do we? Straight through the lights. Green light man. Oh, there's a lot of lovely places to go to, Muffin. That's, I mean, busy, but there's some like lovely places to be going. Hope you get some time to explore them. So I guess we've got sunset about now. Yeah, to the right there's a nice sunset, but you guys can't really see it, which is a bit of a shame. It would have been nice to stay and watch the sunset with Fluff, but I had to get cracking because I needed to fuel up. I was, as I say, on an empty tank, and the Sainsbury's was going to close at 9. Couldn't leave it that tight because it's like a 13-minute drive, I think, or a 15-minute drive from where I was. Or did we see the yellow lights then? The weirdly sickly yellow lights on the car in the middle. Who's a fan of those? I can't say I am. About a little over a mile away from the M42 apparently. Or at least the next junction, which I think it's saying is basically me moving on to the M42. Oh, Gracie's in. Hi Gracie. Hope you're well. Oh, thank you for that, Rosie. You're doing the work for me. Oh, that's an interesting building up there. Do you see the stripiness of that? It's like a zebra. That does kind of camouflage it quite a bit. I wasn't quite sure what it was at first, and then it's a building, but they've like striped it. Really odd, but that works. Over near our way, they do the thing where they make it like blue at the bottom and light blue at the top, and it's got a big chunky gradient of like just adjusting it so that it kind of blends into the sky a bit better. We want the lane for M42 South, obviously. The green light, here it comes. There it goes. Green light, man. Woo! Another green light. Lovely. We're going to go down here onto the M42 and actually be able to do some decent speed. Lovely. That's a fair point there, Liam. I can't really argue with that, I'm going to be honest. There's very few that are in good condition these days, at least from my experience. Hi Bold, good to see you. Some nice cruising on a motorway now. Nice and easy. Time for a couple more M&Ms, I reckon. I wasn't sure if Americans even did roundabouts, to be fair, Joshua. Do they have them over there? Bye, Rosie. You take care. Thank you for stopping in. Oh, somebody being recovered. Yeah, always appreciate you, Rosie. Guys are going a funky speed. I'm not really sure what to make of them. Getting past them, we're going to have to go too fast, but I'm just trying to float in behind them. Do you have any at all, Joshua? That's what I'm wondering. I was under the impression that Americans didn't really do anything with roundabouts because there was a whole sort of joke once. I don't know if it was The Simpsons or something else where like they had no idea about how a roundabout works. I'm fully aware we like to use those things quite a bit. I genuinely think that it depends on the junction and the traffic flow whether a roundabout is what you should be using or traffic lights. Obviously there are other types of junctions, but usually you're picking between them and them two with the sort of ones I'm talking about. The thing I really hate is when they decide to use both. That's like just an absolute no. It shouldn't be allowed. America's too big to need roundabouts. I mean, that might be legitimate. I don't really know. That's a good question, Rick. Yeah, if they have them, what do they call them? Oh, so you call them traffic circles and you've got a couple of them, okay. I mean, that's pretty accurate, I guess. Oh, that's a cool idea, Liam. We sometimes have lights with filters on where they get like the single arrow, green arrow for a particular like time when you can filter. But yeah, that's a pretty sweet rule, to be honest. That would make a lot of sense sometimes. Obviously for us it would be the left turn, not a right turn. Could you imagine that? They allowed a right turn as well. What? At least one thing I'm not going to have to do on this trip is stop for fuel. I don't know if you can hear that. I've opened up my windows. I've got the heat on a little bit just to keep things warm and toasty. But I don't appreciate the smell that comes from it now since they repaired the van. I can only assume that they repaired something and maybe there's some like new components or something with a bit of grease on it or something. I don't really know. That was awkward. Timing on that was a bit tricky. To get past these guys now. They've slowed down again. These are following for a while. And they've slowed down again. Doesn't really help with my cruise control when it wants to keep at one speed and these guys are going in at like a variable speeds. It's rather annoying. But a hey from Clue. Hi Clue. Hope you're well. What speed? 70 basically. depending which thing you ask though. Oh, dearie me. Now they're just playing silly beggars with me. I'm going to go a little bit faster. Because the guy who was in the front has decided to go faster now that I'm coming up to him. But the guy who was now behind me was saying, oh, fire! Did we see that? There's a fire to the right. Whoa! That's a big blaze. Is that a bonfire? Oh, dearie me. Why are you hitting your brakes? Don't do that. Oh, this guy's varying his speed as well. He's being very annoying. Right. This person could learn to drive. They're on their phone, that's why. And they gave me an eyeball as well. There's a woman on her phone, literally holding it in her hands. Wow. I mean, not even paying attention to the road ahead. Incredible driving there. I mean, you guys sometimes wonder if I should be streaming while driving, but it's hands-free, guys. I mean, I've not got a phone in my hands, just holding it up in front of my face. She had a phone in her hands, holding it up on her face, with speakerphone on obviously. I guess you think speakerphone while holding it in your hands is the same thing as hands-free. Oh dear. That was an interesting break. That was actually a woman. That was the woman on the phone. So yeah. You mean the flip of the bird? It was a bit too late. I'll be honest. I was focused more on what I'm doing rather than worrying about flipping her birds. I'm not one to get into the road rage, to be honest. I will judge someone who's going to do stuff like that, though. I mean, you could tell she was not like. You know, I'm doing everything I can to make my drive easier. So, you know, cruise control on. I haven't got to worry about my speed fluctuating unless I'm on a hill and then I have to kind of drop gears. Oh, we're down to 60. No, 50 in fact. So, here we go. Take the. I'm going to have to brake. That person's slowing down faster than me. Fair enough. All right. I've got average speed cameras, so we're going to stick the cruise on 50 and stick to that. It's against the law to have your phone while driving here as well. I mean, it's okay to be on hands-free, but you can't have your phone in your hands. Where am I going here? I want the M5 South apparently. I need to be left-hand laning this, I think. That's weird. There says the M6. Wait, what? No, it wants me on the M5. What? Hold on. Wait. Make your mind up here. What the monkeys? Wait, what's going on? I don't understand this instruction at all. So in half a mile, in half a mile I'm staying to the right. Okay. Wait, what? Oh, I don't understand this at all. I'm just going to trust that I'm doing this right. Right, what? What are you doing to me? Oh, well, that's M6 North. Okay. This makes sense all of a sudden. Saying I want the right-hand lane. So, oh, I see. I do. I see. I do want the right-hand lane. Okay. Right. I'm kind of glad I'm only doing 50. Yeah, this is tricky. So I want the M6 for London and Coventry. So I'll just watch the signs. I'm going to stay in this lane, see what the signs say. So I want the right hand 2 lanes apparently. The left is for M42 and I want the M6 south. So we want to go to the 2 right hand lanes. M6 only. That's what we're wanting. I don't know why the sat nav said something about the M5. I'm like, what? I can tell you where the road tax is going. In the pockets of a lot of bureaucrats, let's say. Yeah, they call it vehicle tax now, don't they? I mean, to be fair, all the money, all the taxes that you pay go into one big pot, and then they decide where to spend it. And let's face it, they don't really want to spend it on the roads. Back to National in a second. This is good. Here we go. We get back to cruising speed. Nice. Oh, you got banned from somewhere again, Gracie. What did you do this time? Vic's definitely right there. The Romans certainly knew how to build things, didn't they? Now, is this guy going to pull out in front of me? Yeah. He's left that to the last second. Like, what is that, man? A bit of predictive driving wouldn't hurt you. I'm not sure if I saw that right, but he's got his phone on his dash a bit like mine is. He's not streaming. I think he's watching a stream or watching like shorts or something. He's got something playing on his phone. That's not copacetic. What is with everybody? That's mental. Oh God, can you see the parking lot to the right? Oh my Lord. What is that doing? It's a Sunday evening. How is there a parking lot on a motorway? What is that about? Something's messed up. That's all I know. And what is this sign above us? What is that supposed to be? That's weird. Is that like a QR code up there? I mean, maybe the guy's got a self-driving van. Maybe that's why he didn't need to watch the road. I don't know. I do wonder if people do the Teslas and the autopilot, they sit there with their hands on the wheel, but they've got like a video playing somewhere and they're not paying attention, sort of thing. I don't know if I could do it, I'll be honest. I think if they got rid of all human drivers off the road, it was all like automatic, like I think I would trust that, but not yet. When they finally do it, sorry, because I think even that the self-drive stuff is not really there yet. But once it is, the problem is you still got human drivers, and I don't know if the self-driving vehicles will deal with that well. Humans have a tendency to be able to throw a spanner in the works almost every time. Could have easily been that muffin. Could have been that easy. That's fair play. Did I say parking lot? I've been Americanized by all the American TV I watch. This is the problem. So I say a lot of things in different. I have loads of things I say that I picked up from people in this country from different regions. Like I say a lot of Scottish things. Like I'll say like I like a wee this or something like that because I grew up around like a Scottish lady, and then I can say a lot of American sort of nice things now. So yeah, it's crazy. Speed camera. Aluminum. What? I don't think Americans tell us that we speak things in the wrong way. They just acknowledge there's a difference. Unless, of course, they're a weird person, in which case they might do that. But that would be more in an individual thing rather than generalising to all Americans. There's this interesting stereotype that I see on movies and shows where like Americans who are travelling are somehow like not liked by all the foreign people, as if they're all rude or something. I'm gonna be straight up, I've never met a rude American. I've met a few and not one of them's been rude. So I don't know where that comes from. That's weird. And this is the problem with stereotypes. Even when they're genuinely correct about something, people just assume it of everyone. It's like, no, that's not true. Like, there are certainly cultural differences that kind of highlight things, but that doesn't mean that everyone in that culture is going to behave the same, especially when they go to other cultures and other countries and stuff. So, yeah. But yeah, I've never met a rude American. Not that I've met a lot of them, but I've met enough to go, well, there's a sample size there. Or a tempting song for Burger King there. Wouldn't mind a Burger King. I think I've spent all my budget though for this week. Or I will be eating sensible meals for a little while. Oh, yeah, just the petrol cost of getting up to Burton and the Peak District and back again and then home. Wow. Ridiculous, really. It definitely cost me £70 to get to. Oh, I've got to get off this lane. As I was saying, it definitely cost me £70 to get from Burton to the Peak District and back to Burton. I'm not sure the fuel cost to get from home to Burton, but I'm guessing it's about the same to get there and back. So I'm thinking probably another 70. So all in all, this trip will have cost me at least 140, I think, in fuel cost alone. Crazy when you think about that. You're right, Vic, I don't need the BK. Ah. Okay. I need to get to the next lane over. The lorry has done what I need to do. But he's done it a bit early. Whoa. Somebody's parked up on the hard shoulder there. So there's workforce and stuff, so we've got to slow right down. We will find out if there is actually a workforce. It's always interesting to find out, but sometimes there just isn't. Here we go. And we now need to stick to 40. Wonderful. At least I can look at the chat a little bit more. As you see, there's a lot of distance between me and the guys ahead. Yeah, that's right, Vic. Yeah. Yeah, you're probably right, Liam. That's the only thing about the evening and nighttime drives, is you're more likely to see some workforce on the motorways. My sat nav saying notification of a mobile speed camera. I don't see one. I'm certainly sticking to the speed limit. But look, there wasn't actually any roadwork going on. I'm just going to go back to National in a second. There were just cones on the side of the road, but it wasn't actually... That's just stupid. No, I didn't see that at all, so I'm going to say no. Okay, back up to speed we go. I think I'm alright to put my foot down now. Stay in this lane. So we want the M6 still. So we've got the sat nav, the cruise control on 70. My speedometer in the van concurs with 70. But Google Maps with the sat nav is telling me I'm doing 65. Now, that does confirm that they obviously overestimate the speed on speedometers, but also it's a certain amount to do with tyre wear and things like that as well, because obviously it's done on the revolutions of the engine and therefore the wheels, and depending on the circumference essentially of your tyres, you know, so how much they're blown up, that's how inflated they are, and also how much wear and tear they've had, your actual speed will change. But I do think that they overestimate quite a bit just to keep you safe, I guess. I won't be getting any Mackie D's. I don't really eat Mackie D's. I'll sometimes have the fries and a milkshake or something, but I prefer not to eat Mackie D's at all. Hi, Mr. Friends. Good to see you. Hope you're well. Well, I could tell you stories for life. When I was like in my teens. Great stuff. Well, I don't mind me a KFC. Yeah, that'll go down. Hey, Kit. Good evening. How are you doing, my friends? I hope you're well. Yeah, I'm good, Mr. Friends. You want the story? Oh, hold on. These guys are going to make me overtake them. They're going very slow, but I've got somebody on my right. I need to get one first. Right, and then we check everything again, go to the right. What are these guys doing? Floating in this lane. Not even doing 70, or probably even 65, according to the sat nav. That is ridiculous. They've now sped up inside me. What is this guy on my left doing? He just like suddenly had a burst of speed. I'm like, what are you doing, fool? Sounds about right there, Vic. I want to pull left, but this vehicle up in front here doesn't look like it's going that fast, but I think it's going to take me too long to reach them to not pull to this lane. So, stories about McDonald's then, or Mackie D's as we call them now. So there were some news stories when I was younger, where they had found strains of bacteria in the premises in a couple of the local well, I don't think this story might not have been local, this was maybe a national story, but they'd found strains of like bacteria that they'd not found anywhere else, sort of thing, so like brand new strains, which was not a good call. But there was a local story about how, and there was actually video footage of this. It was seen that some of the workers were doing something unspeakable into some of the food, shall we say, that they thought would go unnoticed, but it got caught on camera. To be clear, it was the men workers doing it, and what they were putting in looked roughly the same colour as the thing they were putting it into. That'll give you enough detail to know what I'm talking about. And anyway, when you realise that these places have people like that working for them, and there were a few other issues, like around that time, whenever I ordered a burger from McDonald's, they always got it wrong. The only time I ever got a correct order was I was in France, at McDonald's in France. I was like, that is ridiculous. I've got to go all the way to France to a place where they don't even speak English to get my order correct. But then, number of times I went to McDonald's to get a burger, and when I was eating it, it was just like all like lumpy and hard because I'd left the burger in what they call the bin for too long. It's like the place where they keep it warm. So all those things added up. I was like, I don't think I'm eating at McDonald's anymore because they keep messing up my order. Quite a lot of times it's been absolutely disgusting to eat. And then with all them stories, I was like, I've had enough. I'm not eating there anymore. And so it was a thing. I just stopped doing it. And yeah, I don't eat there anymore. It's like a prolonged thing now. I need to get past this guy. He's floating around at similar speed to me, so I can't really look at any response to my story. But yeah, but that's basically my fear. I think a lot of it's better now. This is from a long time. This is decades ago. So I think a lot of the hygiene standards are a lot better. Is my guess. So and I don't think you have people doing that sort of stuff in the restaurants anymore. Hopefully. Well, I was going to go left, but this lorry's just pulled out. We're going to just stay in this lane. Probably annoy some people who are behind me thinking I shouldn't be in this lane. Even though I've got every right to be. Yeah. Yeah, I bet you are glad, Fluff. And also, to be fair, I just prefer Burger King. Their fries are better, their burgers are better. It all just tastes better. So I don't see the point in it. I mean, McDonald's is generally cheaper, sure, but if I'm going to spoil myself and have something a bit of a naughty treat, why am I not having my favourite thing and something that's second rate? Simple as that, really. That's my thoughts on that. My opinion, if you like. I want to like cover my legal basis so I don't get like done in by McDonald's for like some sort of saying something bad. I don't think I've ever had a Wendy's. I'd like to try that. Someone's talking about collabs. Who's having a collab? Fan of collabs. Always good. Yeah, it's a shame Wimpy's is almost gone. Yeah. There are one or two left though, aren't there? We had some around here. Well, I say here, on my home turf area. There was like one or two up until not that long ago. Little Chefs as well. Little Chefs is even more recent. Yeah, that is quite cool, isn't it, Vic? I like that. It looks far brighter on the stream as well than it is in real life, like both the lights and the sky. Nearly coming off. We'll get onto the M1 soon, which means I'm about a little over an hour away from home. That's good. That's good. So the drive today is taking longer than it did to get there because I'm going further away. Because I started off sort of near where the boys' mum lives, and obviously the boys. So I was seeing them. The day I sort of then started up to Burton. Now I'm going back to my parents' house. So hey, Ellie's back. Hope you enjoyed your bath. Oh, what's this Matt saying? Oh, you're talking about a collab with me? Always up for a collab. Not that I'm very good at organising them with the lives or anything. I've never done the one where I collab the lives together. Normally it's like I go off with the people. So like with Tim, say, or Paul back in the day. I did an adventure with Mike, whose channel is Mountains and More. I think this is like a horse box trailer in front. That sounds cool, Liam, yeah. I mean, as we know, I'm always up for meeting my viewers, subscribers, and certainly other YouTubers. My email is in my channel bio. Anyone who does want to meet up is always welcome to send me an email, and I have a bit of a process to go through. Well, I just make sure that we're all on the same wavelength and I'm not dealing with a crazy person, and it's all good. It's a bit easier with YouTubers because you know who they are. You can sort of see their videos and stuff, and you get a feel for them. I can't say as I've ever looked at your guys' streams though, so I don't know that I know your faces or anything like that. I don't really watch streams, if I'm honest. I try to avoid the shorts even, to be fair. I get sucked in from time to time. I'm a sucker for a good thumbnail. And I would accidentally find myself in the shorts because I wasn't paying attention and just saw something interesting and clicked on it. Who are you talking to, Fluff? Go down here. Oh no, we've got more roadworks. We're going to go down to 50. That's why the lorries went that way. Oh, don't do it. Interestingly, it's not 40 here though, it's 50. Of course, once again, there isn't anybody working on it. I think that's the other thing. I don't know if they actually do any overnight work on these places, which kind of probably makes sense, just because if they were working, oh no, wait, is there people? There's people. Oh, well, there's a lorry. They're putting out the cones. I think that's what they're doing. Yeah, I think one of the issues is, if you were actually working here at night, you'd need work lights, but that could be quite a bit of a hazard for the people driving past. So, are we done already with the roadworks? I don't know. I didn't see a sign, but I feel like we're done with them. Yeah, everybody is very slowly getting faster. Ends, yeah, roadworks ends. So we must be up to normal speed. There's nothing to say it's now national, but I think it's kind of implied now, which is not a good way to do that at all. Jaffa cakes, fairly. A bit late in the day for Jaffa cakes, Ellie. Ooh. You've got bed soon. They'll just sit in your stomach. What's it they say? Anything you eat this late at night goes straight on the hips. Is that how it goes? Yeah, I think it's like 56 is the best speed. Although I've got 6 gears, I don't know if that matters. I don't know if the ratios of the gears are just done to make that still a sweet spot, which is really stupid. They should make the most efficient speed, like for your gear ratios. Like at least the 6th gear should be like your 70. Yeah, but at this point you don't really need to fuel yourself anymore, and that's not really nutritious either, Jaffa cake. Like if you said, oh, we're going to go get something like a bit of fruit or something to kind of get some vitamins, I'll be like, okay, it's not the best thing, but as long as it's not too sweet. But Jaffa cakes, you're just basically putting sugars and carbohydrates into your stomach at bedtime. That's a real bad call. At this point, just get a good night's rest, and then because that will keep you awake as well. That's not good. It'll give you like a sugar rush. I try to avoid eating the last 3 hours before bedtime. That's my general rule. I don't always stick to it. If I've had a busy day and I have to eat my dinner a bit later, and then I go to bed maybe like 2 hours after, then it's had to happen. But well, sugar will keep you awake as you've eaten it, but then it can give you like a sugar drop and then get you to sleep. But that's not a very healthy way to do that at all. But like you get like a quick sugar spike. Usually lasts about 20 minutes, maybe a bit longer depending on what you're eating, and then you'll have a sugar drop, like blood sugar wise. That's how that works. That's just the mechanics of it. But at that point, when you get a drop, what your body's basically doing is turning it all into fat, storing it. That's why your sugar goes down. It starts to do it faster than it's getting it from your belly, I think, or it's already got it all. I'm not sure. Depends on the sugars as well, how simple they are. In your defence, the Jaffa cakes really needed to get you. Oh, get eaten, you mean? I don't know that they did. I don't know that they did. They're Jaffa cakes. I don't think if you'd kept them wrapped up that they wouldn't last until tomorrow. Full of excuses, Eddie. But I'm not going to let you off it. I'm going to say the right things and be responsible. Are we still talking about this Calabrian? As I say, if he wants to do it, he'll have to reach out and we'll take it from there. But there's no guarantees. I make no promises on stream. There have been some people I tried to get collabs with, and they didn't really like pan out. They seemed up for it at the start, but then, you know, weird stuff happens, and you're like, okay, maybe we're not going to get this done. So there's been a few false starts with him. But I've done plenty of collabs, yeah. We did the big camp where we had the Midge Fest. We had all sorts on that. Tom in the Tent was the most prominent one of those. And me, he kind of invited himself along to it in the middle of a stream, and I was like, yeah, sure, of course we can. But yeah, we got on like a house on fire. Tom was actually really brilliant. I do respect that lad. He's a good fella. Well, probably the watermelon would be the best thing for just before bed because it would hydrate you the most. But if you need something more filling, then go with a banana. But I'm going to be honest with you, eating at this point isn't a good call. Eating anything at all. If you're feeling that hungry, it probably just means you need to get to sleep sooner. And if you didn't eat that much today, it's not the end of the world. You just like make sure you eat well tomorrow. I have a feeling you won't starve to death. I don't like how busy the M1 is. There's far too much traffic here. This is not as nice a drive as it should be. And also, the speed limit keeps changing. We're down to like a 40 now. Called to Bennett. Awful caution of like a congestion, apparently. I've got a feeling someone's left that on and it's not actually congestion, but we'll see. Whoa, this guy's indicating the other guy's now hitting his brakes. Yeah, you could have just done that, dude, honestly. Oh, Chris, that's what's happening. We're having to go over to the right. Okay. I mean, there's roadworks ahead. Might have been better to stay in the left-hand lane until the last minute, but I mean, I'm just going to stay in this one and just be done with it. We're kind of just stopped now. Blah, 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 blah. Alright. All these lorries are just like overtaking on the left. I'm not impressed. Well, if you're going to do it, mate, just do it. Get it done. Sod it. Off we go. That's nonsense. That's nonsense. We're just going to do this like everybody else then. Well, not everybody, but like more than half the people are doing this. I mean, to be fair, sort of the best thing is to wait until the very end, but nah. I can't believe there's this much volume of traffic though. It's a bit crazy. I'm going to have somebody undertake me on the left here quite fast. Here we go. Flash. There's a lorry up here just like kind of straddling both lanes now. Go on then. All right. I mean, if we're doing it, we're going to do it right to the end. Sod all this mess. Do it carefully, sure. Right, okay, I think we're almost there now. I don't know that I'm going to get much more out of it than this. I'm going to go right. I'm going to get into this lane. Because I think fairly soon we're going to end up with people. I'm going to stay here. There we go. I think I'm going to go here. Hey. We're going to just be behind the Waitrose lorry. Still got people on the left kind of firing along, but I've called it at this point. I just feel like, I don't know how close we are, but it started to get a little bit. And now we're just kind of parked as all the people on the left are just building it up. Yeah. Yeah, look at that to the left. You see people still bundling down there. What I didn't like was there's like a car with its hazards on, as you can see just there. And I didn't really want to get past that and be like, ugh, problems. Now, the last time I was on the M1 and they did this, nothing was going on the lanes that they closed, which is the most annoying thing. Can't lie. That's like a super annoying thing. So currently my ETA for arrival is about, I'd say 11 minutes behind where it was at the start, which is not bad, considering. Oh god, they're all still flashing by on the left hand sides. I don't really know how far up here we are, but I feel like pulling a left now. I just don't know how far up here that it happens. And I might pull left and then be like, immediately have to go back into the right and look like a complete idiot. But also, it might be a long way away. Although we have less people on the left now doing what they were doing. Hey, we're in the parking lot or the car park or whatever. Hey, damsel, hi, damsel, how you doing? Well, that sounds like a nice thing to do, Ellie. You get off and read your books. That's certainly better for you than a bit of YouTube streaming. And to be fair, I appreciate you being here as long as you have, because it's. I know that I can't really chat to you today that much because of the driving, although I now have a chance to do a bit of chatting while I'm sitting here in traffic. This bit's a bit frustrating. Yeah, I should have stayed left all the way. Car parks. You guys. Night, Ellie. You're amazing too. Sweet dreams. Oh my lord, it was a long way up here. Could have just stayed left for a long time. just think that there were people really far back behind us who are literally going to sit there in the car park of it all, because everyone on the left who's skipping past them is basically slowing down the people behind them. And they've got enough people going past that they're not getting anywhere at all, which is why they shouldn't. I mean, they may not have closed it off the way I'm assuming, but you kind of want to do this one lane at a time every few miles, not do it all in one go and say, right, we're closing all but one. Like that causes this level of chaos that's just ridiculous. You want more stories, Mr. Friend? What kind of stories do you want? You've got to give me something to start with. I don't really know where to start with a story. And I've got to have like a point of start. Something to jog my memory about something in my past that I can tell you a story about. I'm on the M1, heading southbound. Not really sure exactly where I am on the motorway itself. They've basically closed off 3 of the lanes. I think the first lane is closing now and they're going to start switching over. I think we're almost there to the actual closures. Yeah, we've got people bunching up now. We're getting to the point. And I will be damned if I let any of these guys get in the gap between me and this lorry. So they're out of luck for that. It just ain't happening. They've all done this super late, they can struggle. The price they pay for that. And what I figure is, the justification, if you like, is that the less I let through, the more the people behind actually get to move forward, instead of these people who skipped all the people. Skipping on the left. Because these guys have taken the absolute mick with it. Let's be honest. These guys have taken the absolute mick. And that's it. There we go. There's no longer any more nonsense. Bum 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 bum. They are still putting out the cones. We've still got a thing up here saying 50 and that they're closing the things. I don't know if that's true now. No one else seems to be believing it either. So certainly if it happens again at this point, I think everyone's staying left into the absolute limit. No, there's the end sign. There we go. We have roadwork ending. Excellent. Jobs are good. Ooh, a nice hotel chocolate to the left. A holiday story. Oh, have you heard the story? of mine and Noah's trip to the Snowdonia National Park, Mr. Friends. This was a time where me and Noah ended up inches from death, which we can now laugh about, but I can assure you was no laughing matter at the time. Alright, so I've always been into a bit of hiking and some challenges, and when I was younger I liked to do a bit of scrambling, and I chose to, like, I make up my own routes and stuff, as you guys know. So me and Noah were doing a 4-night trip, so 5 days in the Snowdonia National Park, going up and down peaks. And we'd do like a peak, like where we'd sort of like go from the valley, go up the side of it somewhere, like on the steep parts, and then come down a more sort of like more gentle angled part. Find somewhere in the next valley to camp for the night, and go up the next one the next day, and so on and so forth. And on the second to last, well, what was it? So I think, there was like, sort of like, we had 2 more nights of camping left when we were going up Snowdon itself. And we're scrambling up the sides. I had planned quite a challenging scramble part, which we kind of decided not to do, and we ended up doing a slightly less challenging part, but we did find our way up it, like not on the path at all, completely what we call off-piste. And at first we get high enough that we can see helicopters flying past below us, like on rescue missions for other people, and it's sunny weather, we're in t-shirts, we're loving it, we're having a break, having lunch. By the time we get to the ridge line, where we kind of like scale over and meet the main path that most people go up on, the weather's come in and it's really bad, and the rain's coming sideways, visibility's down, and as we're walking up the path to get to the top, where they have, like, obviously the rail line that goes up to Snowdonia goes to the sort of tourist centre at the top, the visibility is down to nothing. Like, we can see a few metres in front of us, that's all. We have no idea how close we are to this thing or anything. And I end up having a bit of a hypoglycemic episode, which I was prone to having back then. And a lady, bless her, she gives me some glucose tablets, and that really helps out, and I end up feeling a lot better. And we asked somebody else who's coming down, we're going like, you know, how much further is this? And they're like, oh, it's literally just like 20 or 30 metres up ahead. But we didn't know, so we're like, oh, brilliant, fantastic. And we finally get to the tourist centre, we get inside, and we're like, that was horrific. We peel off our clothes, our jackets and stuff, our waterproofs, and we kind of hang everything up on the chairs in the restaurant area, and we kind of try to get things dry. And we're kind of a bit like, wow, that's really bad, but at least we're up here. We get a little snack to eat, and we sit down, and we've been up there for 5 minutes when the announcement comes. They're closing the tourist centre in the next 15 minutes because they need to close the rail line, because the weather's getting so bad that it's time to close everything down, but it's like dangerous even to run the rail lines. And I'm like, this is bad. And for a moment we think about potentially getting the train down. We think, no, we'll be all right. We'll go down, and we'll carry on the route. So there we are. The rain is full on sideways by this point. We are getting hammered, and we're just trying to get our way down the slopes of Snowdonia. And we finally get down to the bottom, and we are soaked through. I mean, all our gear is soaked. There isn't a dry thing on us, right? And we find a hostel at the bottom. I can't remember what the hostel was called, but it was a good place. They had a drying room where, like, it was a really warm room with lots of ventilation. You could put your gear in there. This guy is just swerving. I'm going to get by this guy. I'm going to do it pretty promptly as well, because this guy should not be there. He's just hanging in the right hand, second from right lane, being an absolute idiot, swerving left and right. What a fool. yeah, and anyway, as our clothes are drying, we order some food because we're like, yeah, all our stuff's stuffed. We're not going to be able to cook out in this because like we needed to be able to cook and we couldn't. And we're sort of umming and ahhing about whether we should stay at the hostel because the weather seems quite bad, or whether we can attempt a camp out in the weather, which seems a bit like dangerous. Don't do this, guy. Are you turning? You just left your signal on. It feels like you're going to like pull out in front of me. I'm not happy about it. Yeah, so we well, why is that guy's lights almost like flashing at me? It's weird. Yeah, so I'm in awe about this for a while, and then we eventually decide it's probably better to get like a room or a place at the hostel, because it just seems quite a dangerous thing to be camping out there. So we go up to the desk and we ask, is it okay to get a room? Like we just ask, can we book a room? And he's like, oh, sorry. It's like it must have been like about 9:20 at this point in the evening or something. He goes, oh, sorry, we don't take bookings after 9 o'clock. We're like, what? He's like, yeah, and we're like, oh, okay. So we think, okay, decision made for us. We'll have to camp it out. So, having tried all our gear, we head on out. We try to find a camp spot which I'd figured out, and it was absolutely flooded. And I was like, okay, that's no good. We'll have to go somewhere else. And we kind of walked a bit, and we were like, we can't walk far in this. This is crazy. We essentially go to a field nearby. We find one bit of high ground where it doesn't feel like it's going to get that wet overnight, and we're like, okay, we'll just camp here. But we're exposed, which is unusual for us. Normally we like to camp in the trees, and my tent isn't really designed to take lots of wind and be exposed. It's more of like a put it up in the trees where you've got some shelter kind of tent. So I only put it up like halfway with a really rubbish stick that isn't good enough to hold the peak up anyway. So I'm essentially using it more as a bivvy bag, which it's not designed to do. So in my wisdom, I decided what I'll do is, once I've set up my mattress and my my sleeping quilt on the inside, I'll put an emergency blanket over me so that it's a bit of like a barrier between me and the tent, just in case any of the rain gets through, because it probably will. And it'll also keep me warmer at night, because it's going to be a cold one. It was going to be like, I think like 7 or 8 degrees. Not super cold, but, and I'll get to it soon, that's not a good temperature if you get wet. So anyway, I'm trying to get to sleep, and I've got like this tent just flapping, like flap in my, like inches from my face, and I'm just like, this is terrible conditions. And I'm also aware at this point that the whole trip, Noah's mattress, that like obviously he's got an inflatable mattress like me, he's once again bought a cheap one, and it needs blowing up every 20 minutes because it's got a puncture somewhere. And I eventually do fall asleep after quite a long time of just laying there, but my exhaustion from the day gets me asleep. I wake up a few hours later, and it's like I don't know, like 6 or 7 o'clock in the morning, whatever. We know the hostel's going to open up at about, I think, 8:30 or something like that. It was. I can't quite remember the times, but it was a good like an hour and a half, something like that, until it was going to open up. But anyway, the first thing that goes through my mind though when I wake up is I realise that I'm surrounded by water, all in my tent, because it wasn't erected properly. The water's got through, and the only reason I'm dry is because I'm underneath this emergency blanket, but my hand is literally in a bit of water because it's dangling off my mattress, and all around my mattress is like an inch of water. And I realised if I had got wet with the temperatures that they were, I would have probably died from exposure, because you can't be wet and cold. That's not a thing. So I was like, oh, that is bad. And this just sort of seeps into my awareness. And then I realised Noah's not got a proper mattress that would have gone down. And I start to panic in my head and think, oh, rubbish. And I like, listen, I can't hear him. So I kind of just like look at the time. I work out that we'll probably get up soon anyway. I can't really wait to ask him any longer, so I kind of just shout out, Noah, are you alive, mate? And he's like, yeah, I was wondering the same thing of you, because you've been quiet for a while, because we're in separate tents, like one-man tents. And I was like, oh, thank God for that. And we pack up our stuff just soaking wet, go back to the hostel. We wait for them to open up. And then when the guy turns up to kind of like open it all up, he looks at us with like this look in his face and say, what on earth? And he's like, did you guys stay out in that last night? And we were like, yeah. And he's like, well, that was really stupid, because that was dangerous. Why were you doing camping in that? Because that was like a proper storm. And we were like, oh, we just thought it was like Welsh weather, and we just sort of didn't think it was a problem. He goes, no, you could have been like, where were you camping? And we were like, just over there. He's like, guys, that was dangerous. What were you doing? We're like, well, we didn't know. And we were talking about it later, like all our stuff was getting dry again in the dry room, and we kind of just sat around just having a bit of breakfast. And whoa, that flashed. I hope that didn't flash me. Why did that camera flash? Because I'm doing like 70, which is totally fine. There isn't a variable speed limit here. Everyone else is going faster. I mean, there was a guy to the right going a bit fast. Oh, that always freaks me out. I hate seeing that. But I think I was well past. I think it was the guy behind got flashed. Like he came flying by on the outside. So yeah, I think he just got done with the speed camera. What? Silly man. Yeah, so what was I saying? Yeah, we got talking about it. We realised we were inches from death, because Noah was dry only because he was on a bit of a mound on the floor, and that allowed him to stay out of the wet ground. I was in a bit of a dip, which is why I got like surrounded, but my mattress stayed up and saved me. I mean, it was properly stupid. Like, I don't know what we were doing, but it's one of those ones where we're young and you like learn from it. Anyway, that's and then to be honest, the next day we were so just done in by a bad night's sleep, and then the day before being just so epically draining, that we just sort of like, we had a really good day that day because it warmed up, the sun was out, and so we kind of just bounced down the valley because it was all downhill as well. But we decided to just get an Airbnb for the next night because we were done camping. So we just had enough of it at that point. So we hired an Airbnb, we stayed there that night, and we had like a really great meal at like a pub restaurant type thing. It was awesome. So it was a crazy good trip all in all. It was a really good trip, but just that one bit there was like, oh my God, that was like just horrific. But that's our Snowdonia story anyway. There you go, Mr. Friend. Hopefully you're still here and you're listening. Did I see you say that you had a bad experience in Snowdonia as well? I've been monologuing for a while, so I haven't really been checking the chat. I do apologise. Hey, Wayne's in. Hi, Wayne. And Rach as well. Hi, Rach. Am I going to have to pull to the right? Probably for the lorry anyway. This guy's going to be slow. Let's just go to the right. What are you doing peekabooing us, Eddie? Shouldn't you be in bed by now? Yeah, we're moving again. Flying along. You're welcome for the story, Mr. Friend. You can tell me your story about Snowdon the next time I see you, yeah? Fair enough, Ellie. I think you snuck off and had those Jaffa cakes. I think that's what's happened here. Yeah, back to work tomorrow, Rach. I'll be working in Stevenage. Got some fairly nice work on, to be fair. Somebody got modded. I cannot check the modded chat. Yeah, I don't know who that was. Yeah, well, I like to drive in the evenings, Wayne, because it's less traffic. And also, I was leaving it as late as I could, so I had as much time as possible with Fluff. It was hard leaving her, to be honest. Had such a good time. Whee! Only about 5 more miles to go, and then I'll be off this. And then we got onto the 507, I guess. I know the roads well from there, to be honest. Yeah, it's been a great time, Rach. It's been a fantastic week. I've really loved just getting out and about, doing lots of walking and getting up into the Peak District. And it's been awesome seeing Fluff. I have to say that was the highlight, to be fair. It was it, Ellie? What did you get up to today? Lots of volume of traffic again. Very much, Rach, very much. Oh, we've got the traffic officer to the left. National Highways. .2 miles left to go. Hi Teddy, yeah, this is kind of true, but I think I get a bad reputation for this on the stream, to be fair. Just because I've done a bit of dating recently. It's terrible. Right, we're coming off here. He's going there, so I'm going to go here. I'm going to slow down and just stay behind this lorry. It's any reason to be rushing at this point. It's the back end of the trip. We've got half an hour left to go. You predict the romance every time there's a woman in the chat who likes me, Rach. What are you talking about? Oh, dearie me. You think I'm just some kind of like Casanova? What are you talking about, paying for diesel, Vic? I don't think I got whatever you said before. I must have missed that. Here we go. Right down here. Nice. Job's a good one. Rach. Oh, dearie me. You do make me laugh, Rach. Is that for real this time, Ellie? Are you actually going to go to bed? What on earth, Teddy? Steady on. There were certainly no plans for anyone else to be having a ride in my passion wagon. Oh, dearie me. And I think Rach is not interested in that one bit at all. Thank you, Ellie. You have sweet dreams, and we'll see you on the next one. I hope school's good tomorrow for you. Exactly. Rach is happily married. Rach has no use for a Casanova. She's already got her Romeo. And in all fairness, as things stand currently, I am off the market. So there will be no visits to the Passion Wagon, except by fluff. Well, I say that, I will still be meeting up with people, and people will be able to spend time with me and do whatever. It's like Sparker got himself a little look around, because we spent a bit of time in the van together. I didn't really give him a full tour or anything, but there's time for him to see anything like that if he's interested next time. But we had a lot of stuff to talk about, so we got a sideline on conversations so much it was unreal. The chat was flowing very well and very easily. Great conversation. I thought you were gone, Ellie. Yeah, the Sparker stream was awesome, Rach. I hope that we can do it again. That was totally unexpected. I honestly thought he wasn't even going to be like talking on the stream or anything. I thought he was going to be a very private person, because obviously he normally just lurks and sometimes he'll chat. And I was thinking, yeah, just the signs are he probably wouldn't be the kind of person to get on the camera, but he was, and I was really impressed with just how he took to it. I think he should probably think about doing himself a little channel and get himself out there, like document his like little forays into the Peak District. It'd be really good. Your ears are definitely burning, Fluff, yes. Bye bye, Eddie. Sweet dreams. Well, that'd be up to Fluff, to be fair, H. I never pressure anyone into anything. I always say, look, it's your call. And there's generally three main options, which is I do the stream completely away from you, you don't have anything to do with it. Or you can be in the room and choose to maybe chat a little bit and be like a floating voice, or not even chat at all. Maybe just like get involved in the actual like chat of the stream via watching on your device or whatever. Or there's the other option, which is get on the stream and have a crack at it and just have a chit chat. Spark obviously chose the full blown let's get on and do it, but as we know, not everybody chooses that, so there's never a pressure. Thanks, Muffin. Appreciate the kind words. It is certainly nice to be back onto home territory where I know the roads. You doing all right, Joshua? Still hanging in there with us. How many miles I've got? 14 miles according to the sat-nav. It's going to take about 22 minutes, but I'm going to be honest, it's going to take longer than that because we're on slower roads where I can't go the speed limit of the same as the cars. On the single carriageway, I'm limited to 50. The cars can do 60. So I imagine the prediction is to do with that. So I'm assuming it's going to take more like about 25 minutes maybe. I mean, on this section I'm doing the limit because it's actually 50 here, it's not national. But there are definitely some national sections where I'll be limited. Yeah, I've got some M&Ms left, Vic. I've been snacking on them a little bit, but only enough to just keep me alert. Oh, took that one nice and smooth. That was excellent. Just at the right speeds. Gonna have talking about M&Ms. We're gonna have some now. Yeah, there's a few left. A few. Thank you, Teddy. Could go slower on this one. A little bit more of a turn. Oh, someone's took down the sign there. Did you see that? I must have hit that hard. I like how Teddy's like, you're the queen of the passion wagon now. Oh dear. Was it? They say never a truer word than said in jest, eh? I wish Fluff was with me, I tell you. I don't think that her boss would be very happy with me if I'd stolen her away, though. She'll be needed tomorrow for work, won't she? But for some reason, it has only just now occurred to me about school holidays and the potential for some nice trips. Could be good. Of course, I'm potentially doing something with my boys if they want to. I sent Henry a picture from Bads. That's bound to happen. Yeah. We cut out. So I was just saying, I was at Badsley Ensor. It's a place that Henry loves. He loves fishing the ponds there. And I sent him a picture of the heron because it was busy chomping down on a goldfish. Fluff had seen it and brought it to my attention. So, oh my lord! Didn't get the phone out quick enough to catch it eating the goldfish, but it was literally just gulping one down. And I was like, that's actually pretty typical if you think about it, because a goldfish is kind of at a disadvantage because it can be seen so easily. And a heron's obviously going to stop at that pond and take its fill of like the little fish that are in there. So, yeah, that happens. But I think now he's seen that, he might be like, oh, I'd like to get Dad to get me over there. So maybe we will. Or it's a couple of hours or so, Rach, depending on exactly where I am. Oh yeah, the squirrel taking a drinks can up the tree. Like a proper little stealth camper. Hiding up a tree with a can of drink. Still can't work out what it was doing with a can. I have no idea why a squirrel would want like a crushed up beer can. Oh, God, I bet those things are close when they do that. Is that a helicopter up there? You see the light in the sky? I feel like that's a helicopter. Yeah, they like the ponds, don't they, Rach? They're crazy. Long now. 16 minutes is the ETA on my device, but obviously I'm expecting it to be longer. I would say I'm about like just under 20 minutes away from home probably. When I was younger, I used to drive these roads. I had a girlfriend back in Flitwick and I still lived in Olsey, and I'd drive this road, but I drove it like a maniac. I was like speeding in places that were safe enough, but I really shouldn't have been speeding. And I'd do this in such a quick time sometimes. No such thing now. Drive like a sensible human being. Yeah, that's Truvik. That's always interested me, that is, that they're descendants of them. And the heron is one of the ones that look a bit like a dinosaur. Looks a bit like a pterodactyl, I suppose, or something like that. It's just got that kind of look about it. I think it's like the long beak and stuff, and yeah. I'm getting a little size. Of keeping the internal fuel going. Here we go. Coming up to the White Elephant roundabout. Can you spot the white elephant hanging up? is one in there somewhere. I think the coverage is a bit too thick right now. Yeah, you won't see it. I find that funny that the local residents were so annoyed with all the wastage over here, building that silly roundabout and rather rebuilding it. But they had to make a point and put that up there. I think it's agreed locally that this was one of the most monumental wastes of taxpayer money that there's ever been in the area. What's Memorial Day then? What exactly are you celebrating on that day? Like I know like what, for instance, Independence Day is about, and Thanksgiving and things like that, but what's Memorial Day? I don't even know what that is. Sounds interesting. So honours the members of the military who died. Oh, I see, okay. Oi, dear. Did we see that? Sitting there waiting across the road. Yeah, I guess that's like... Is that what we call R1? What do we call ours? Because it's like on the 11th of November, right? It's always like the day before. No, it's like Remembrance. We have like, is it, we do it on a Sunday, like Remembrance Sunday or something like this? Yeah, we call it Remembrance Sunday, I guess. But it's not always on a Sunday, is it, I suppose? Is it like the first Sunday after the 11th or something? I don't know how that works. see, so we do the same thing, we just call it something different. Nah, you see? Learning something. I like this. I was talking to Vic about this bird watcher thing before, and he said the classic to me, not the feathered kind. I was like, yep. That got me laughing. Hey, Greg's in. Hi, Greg. I honestly, Greg, I haven't seen an email from you. So, are you sure you're typing my email address in correctly? I think sometimes people don't type it in properly. It's essentially my channel name at gmail.com. But you don't want to be using capitals. I don't think you want to use capitals. I don't know if that matters. And obviously no spaces or anything. I would have thought you could copy paste it, but just be careful how you copy. If you get like something in the wrong, like something next to it added in, it might go wrong. So you want to, I don't know if you can copy paste from the bio or not, but just visually check, make sure it's all written properly. It should be all right. But you wouldn't be the first one to struggle with that. I've had somebody else who like struggled for a few times and then they finally got it to go through. But it was definitely just about getting it written correctly in there. Yeah, I'm the kind of person who I like to see nice, like coloured birds and like beautiful sort of things like that, and nature as a whole. But I'm not. I don't need to know the name of everything I'm looking at. So if I like a particular viaduct or something, I don't need to know the name of it unless I want to get back to it and I'm going to look it up on a map or something. I don't need to know the name of all the birds that I see or the butterflies. I have an interest in some tree names just because I like to be able to identify them, and I have a little bit of a list of like each one that is supposed to be usable for burning in different ways. But these days I just go by my own experience of what does and doesn't burn that well in my little wood stoves. And it doesn't matter so much. It mattered more when I was doing like little fires with smaller stoves, and like good wood was really important. But in fairness, the more important thing was making sure that the wood was actually dry. Yeah, nearly home. I've even turned the sat nav off because there's really no point now. Birds and the bees. I like that one, Joshua. Yeah, Henry's very knowledgeable about all that sort of stuff. I mean, to be fair, sometimes he says things that I don't know if he says them like a fact, but I don't know if he's guessing a little bit. He has a tendency to overstate his knowledge sometimes, but he is very good with the nature stuff, and I genuinely trust him with that. He does know so much more than your average kid. It's crazy good. Remembrance Sunday, 11th hour. I get you. So do it on the Sunday. Do it on the 11th hour, because it was like 11. It was 11 on the 11th for the 11th or something like that when they did the ceasefire, wasn't it? And then they just do it on a Sunday now, so we have Remembrance Sunday, but they do it at 11 o'clock. I'm getting you. I'm getting you. That's it. Oh wait, it was actually Chris who said about birds and the bees, and Joshua asked me what about it. Have you not heard that saying, Joshua? When you learn about the birds and the bees. So finally past Henley. Really home turf now. We're about to drive over the bridge that I slept under for a stealth camp. That was some time ago now. Oh, it's crazy to think how long ago that was. Hi, SB, I guess. Yeah, this is the flyover, and I slept below this, so just where these cars are to my right about here is where I'd have been sleeping. Do you have a name, SB? I presume it's not Sandra Bullock. Ah, that's cool, Joshua. Drive on the other side of the road, it could be funny. It could be dangerous. Sometimes I drive on the other side of the road when I'm overtaking somebody. Ha! You see what I did there? See what I did there? Yeah. So, we are just about home. Here we go. Floor it. Okay, ready? It's floored, it's floored. And now we have to brake because we're getting towards the junction. Oh, dear me. Oh yeah, loads of lights, 24 of them. Thank you, everyone. Yeah. Just reversing up. Get it into first. It helps, doesn't it? There we go. A little bit more forwards. And we're good. Woo! Yeah. We're all good. Apologies. apologies. Yeah. Thank you, Fluff. Yes, it was a safe journey. We are now all... well, I'm going to grab my ladders and put them in because it's supposed to rain. So I don't really want to fuss with wet ladders in the morning. So we'll put those away and then, yeah, get settled in for the night. Lest we forget. Yeah. How big is your van, my buddy? Ooh, well, it's about 6.5 meters long. It's like about 4.5 inside of where the home bit is, and I guess it's like about as wide as a van is wide. I think it's like 2.1 meters on the inside. I think with the wing mirrors, it's probably 2.4 meters because there's rules about not having vehicles too wide. I think 2.4 is the widest you can go at any given point. So I think that's like essentially with the mirrors. Anyway, that is the stream for today, guys. It was driving one. We have driven. We are now back, and I need to get packed down for the night and start relaxing. It's been a hell of a week with a lot going on, lots of excitement. I've absolutely loved it. Back to reality though. Got work in the morning, and yeah, it's obviously going to be another stream tomorrow. Probably a bit more of a chill one. Hopefully I will have finished work and had a chance to have a real good sort of chilled evening. And maybe we'll try to get out this week at some point for a little bit of like a, little fireside, little chat and whatnot. That'd be really good. Thank you, Chris. Appreciate you being here all this time. And everyone else as well. You know who you guys are. My best YouTube family, the best community on this whole YouTube thing, I reckon. But yeah, love you all. See you tomorrow. In the meantime, have fun.